Wow, who would have thought this would be a disaster? Besides anyone who's seen the current state of Marvel, I mean. I haven't done a video like this in a while, but I really wanted to make this one because it involves a show that's important to me, and I'd rather cover this than Loki Season 2, which apparently no one cares about. Marvel has scrapped Daredevil Born Again, fired the writers and directors, and are looking for a new team to basically pull this project out of the grave that the previous team dug it into. Honestly, at the rate they've been going, the only surprising thing about this is that someone at Marvel actually acknowledged there was a problem. Bear in mind, this is the studio that released She-Hulk. Now you're telling me that the same people who let She-Hulk Attorney at Law see the light of day are hitting the panic button on Daredevil? How bad does a show have to be if someone whose standards are so low they think She-Hulk was good watches it and thinks, we can't let anyone see this shit? Maybe expectations at the studio were higher for Daredevil Born Again, but holy gods, this doesn't exactly inspire confidence, does it? And frankly, it was pretty much inevitable that we'd end up here at some point. Marvel's Disney Plus shows, calling them hit and miss would be generous. Some of them have been good, or good-ish. I enjoyed Moon Knight, though they didn't have enough episodes to tell their story and the finale was rushed as hell. Hawkeye was a fun, old-school palate cleanser, though I hated what they did with Kingpin and the Maya stuff fell flat. I liked a lot of the ideas and concepts in Loki Season 1, though I know a lot of people didn't. WandaVision had potential to be really cool, but they shit all over it with the ending, and those were the better ones. From there it just went from bad to worse. Falcon Winter Soldier? Hey, let's spend half the season fixing a fucking boat, then ask everyone to feel sorry for terrorists and tell politicians how much they suck. What If? Terrible. Ms. Marvel? Terrible. Secret Invasion I didn't even watch, but I heard it was a total mess. She-Hulk? The absolute worst thing. Wouldn't wipe my shit-covered ass with that most embarrassing piece of crap the MCU has ever produced. Period. And now we're hearing the word unreleasable being used to describe Echo, a show nobody was even asking for in the first place. Not exactly the ideal environment you want to be making a new Daredevil series in. Things haven't been going in a good direction, and now we have this. I've got a couple articles here. This one's from Bounding Into Comics. Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios executives are scrapping their Daredevil Born Again series after reviewing nearly half of the 18-episode show's footage while the series production was paused due to the Writers Guild of America strike. Nearly half the season. So even if they do retool the whole thing, they're gonna have to shoot around what they've already got, and it's likely gonna be a massive money pit. Awesome. We're off to a great start, aren't we? Marvel Studios canned writers Chris Ord and Matt Corman, as well as all the show's planned directors, as they plan a significant creative reboot of the series. Sources say that Corman and Ord crafted a legal procedural that did not resemble the Netflix version known for its action and violence. Cox didn't even show up in costume until the 4th episode. So it wasn't like the very popular Netflix show, which everybody loved and had lots of action and violence. Instead, it was a legal procedural that was light on action and apparently barely had any of the superhero the show is named after. Here's my question. How do you hear a pitch for a Daredevil show that says no Daredevil until episode 4 and think, sounds great, let's greenlight that? Here's some more. You just did a legal procedural with She-Hulk. Yeah, there were other things in it, but it was structured like a procedural, albeit a really bad one. And then you filled the writer's room with people who, by their own admission, sucked at writing lawyer stuff. Surprise, surprise, it was a fucking embarrassment. The lawyer stuff was so lame-brained a kindergartner could poke holes in it. And you thought it was a good idea to do that again? How does that make sense to you? Sure, it's unavoidable when Matt's day job is being a lawyer, that's gotta be part of it, but you don't have to focus on that stuff, especially if it's not something you're good at. People aren't tuning in to see Matt Murdock try cases every week. It's a superhero show, for God's sake. What do you think got you to the dance here? Also, if they fired their directors too, then shooting around what they've already got in the can and making it all look like one cohesive vision is gonna be that much harder, if not impossible. Plus, it means they're probably not confident in what the previous directors shot anyway. He also claims that Marvel plans to keep some scenes and episodes, though other serialized elements will be injected. So it's gonna be a Justice League situation? That didn't exactly work out for WB, guys. How the hell is that the best option? How did you let it get to this point? The second you heard no Daredevil for the first 4 episodes, those clowns should have been out the door. Those details provided an official description for the show's first episode. Marvel Studios presents Daredevil, in which longtime rivals Matt Murdock, Charlie Cox, and Wilson Fisk, Vincent D'Onofrio try to leave behind their darker alter egos to serve the people of New York, only to have their pasts catch up with them. In the first episode of the series, we are reintroduced to the world of Daredevil. They tried to leave behind their darker alter egos, the ones that everyone will be tuning in to see. Brilliant. Kinda seems like this entire project was creatively borked from minute one. I don't understand how you allow this to happen. All you had to do was tell your writers, watch Netflix Daredevil, and then do that. Even if this new show was gonna be different, you had a fantastic blueprint right there to take notes from. How do you still manage to shit the bed this badly? Along with this description, it also revealed a casting list that confirmed John Bernthal's return as Frank Castle, aka The Punisher, and a bunch of actors I don't know playing characters I've never heard of. The Punisher, huh? Tell me, how exactly are you gonna do The Punisher on Disney Plus? The Punisher is a dark, serious, violent character. He's everything the MCU wants to not be right now, for better or worse, to say nothing of freaking Disney. Who the hell wants to see The Punisher with his balls cut off? You saw what they did to Kingpin. Do you really want to see Frank Castle get that same treatment? This casting list also appears to confirm that Deborah Ann Wall and Eldon Henson will not be returning to reprise their roles as Karen Page and Foggy Nelson. So your plan was to have a Daredevil show that has no Daredevil for 4 episodes at a time, that will be light on action despite him being an action-heavy character, will have lots of legal stuff despite Marvel recently proving that they can't write legal stuff to save their lives, and will not have Daredevil's supporting cast from the comics who were proven to be popular in the Netflix show. So, was the plan to take everything about this character that people like and just do the opposite? And there's another article with a rumor saying that Matt hung up the suit for a year because he failed to save Foggy. So Foggy might be dead, and Matt's a failure who quit being a hero? Oh my god, it's like the Star Wars Disney trilogy all over again! It's all the same mistakes! Who knows if that rumor's true? But even if it isn't, here's some more questions. Why did it take a writer's strike shutting down production for months for you to notice there was a problem here? Why did you have to watch half a season's worth of dailies before you scrapped this thing? This sounds awful! And oh look, Ben Urich was gender swapped. Or maybe it's his daughter, who I'm sure will be better than Ben in every way, right? Wow, never seen that before. And there's an article from The Hollywood Reporter that basically says Marvel are changing the way they do TV because they tried to make TV shows the same way they make movies and it wasn't working. No shit. So they're going to shift to a more traditional TV model and have actual showrunners, which, according to this, they didn't have before? Good God! This all seems like stuff they should have figured out several years ago, like before they started doing streaming shows. Did it really take you this long to realize that movies and TV are different? Better late than never, but Jesus Christ, this is infuriating! The more we find out, the more of a shit show it is! The only silver lining here is that Feige finally noticed that something was wrong and is trying to fix it. But did that happen in time to save the new Daredevil show? Probably not. As someone who loved Netflix Daredevil, I'm fine with waiting for them to go back to the drawing board with Born Again if it means we eventually get something that doesn't suck. But even the best damage control ever is still just damage control. I'm bracing for this to be a complete train wreck now. I mean, if he hired those first 2 idiots to write the show, who's to say he won't just hire a bunch of new idiots? The track record is getting worse all the time. Don't get me wrong, it's good that Feige put the brakes on. I'm happy to hear that. But why someone didn't do it a hell of a lot sooner if the show was this bad is what I can't figure out. This is so depressing. We really can't have nice things anymore. I was already super nervous that they were gonna shit the bed with this, and now, what? We have to hope that the new writers they bring in can salvage it? They haven't exactly been hiring the best people lately, so does anyone really like those odds? But hey, look at the bright side. In the meantime, we've got the Marvels to look forward to. I'm so tired. We're gonna have to keep a close eye on this one. But thanks so much for watching. While you're here, ding that bell icon and follow my social media to be notified when I upload new stuff. The links are down there. And most importantly, don't forget to leave a comment. If you want to see me do more videos like this one, let me know. Hit that thumbs up, share the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you're still subscribed. If I'm gonna reach 50,000 subscribers, I need you to do all the YouTube things. Seriously, they take like 5 seconds. Help me out here. That's all for now, but I'll be back with more soon. Take care, stay tuned. I'll see you next time.